MKM floor fix for delaminated floors. Ah, well that escalated quickly.
Yay, we're here again!
Sunday the 6th of December.
Oh, it's December.
I know.
Ding, ding, ding.
We were meant to finish by the 9th of November, so we're nearly a month
We're only a
overdue.
month behind. Sorry, I was going to say something insightful, then no.
No. So today's little task. Oh, by the way, we've just finished the premiere. We've just driven here after the last video premiered, which was really nice to, to chat to a few of you guys live. So we might do that again.
Yeah.
That worked quite nicely.
We'll do it a bit later this time because we understand you might want to be, in bed at 8:30 on a Sunday.
Maybe Sunday evening. Anyway, so the caravan is there behind us. Today we are going to put the two side panels onto the walls.
That's like the final big job in sight. Well, no, it's not, but it's going to feel like a
Don't mention the windows. And then hopefully Stacey's going to start painting the insides with some wood primer. And then we're going to do some seals. And we'll see how much of that we get done today.
You can tell we haven't been to the caravan for a couple of days because we're both quite jovial.
So, right, okay, let's get cracking.
Do not have a damp caravan.
So we've literally just recorded that last piece, stepped inside the caravan, and we've got water. The rain has been driven by the wind that strongly recently, and it's come in through the windows. That's the first time that's happened.
It's really wet.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So I think today's other little job is to get rid of that carpet before it causes any more damage, and allow the floor to dry off.
And maybe we'll try and cover the windows tonight, maybe?
Yeah.
We'll look at the weather forecast and see if we're due any rain.
Honestly, the winds here and angles here are just
that.
mad. Absolutely mad.
It is like really wet in the shed actually.
Yeah.
Oh, it's lucky we haven't got the roof off or anything, isn't it?
Right. Okay.
Damn
little
caravan
job.
restoration.
God. Right, never mind, we'll crack on. So I reckon, having had a chance to clear up a bit, I reckon we've had snow in the estate.
Well, it is December.
Yeah, I reckon. Because if it was rain, the new ply that's been left in place and on the front windows, that'd be soaking because it'd be dribbling
Yeah, I mean
down.
there's a bit on the wall there, isn't there, where you can see on the window ledge.
Yeah, but no, I've tipped some water out
Oh
of there,
right,
so that's
oh
probably
okay.
it. But yeah, no, I think it's snow, which is why it's only the floor.
Yeah, and then it's just because it's melted.
Yeah, and then you can see on there that it's probably been on top of the heater as well, and it's just melted and left the
Yeah.
dusty marks, which is quite good in a way.
Yeah, you can see it's been wet.
So, yeah.
Oh well.
But yeah, like you say, it is December, so we should probably get the windows in soon, or try and cover the front end up.
Yeah, maybe if we're not going to get the windows in today, are we? But we could maybe try and put some of that polythene around it.
Yeah.
See what the forecast's going to be, because if it's dry, it's not so bad.
2 degrees it reckons, folks, so it's probably about right.
Oh no.
This is the difficult bit, trying to get this all lined up.
I've got the best job.
Pardon?
I've got the best job.
And also the screws will be in a really nice straight line.
Which will pander to your OCD, won't it?
Yeah.
It's fortunate for you I'm not doing this, because nothing would be in a straight line if I did it. It would be exceptionally creative, but it wouldn't be in a straight line.
This fits in.
Is it going to fit? Is it going to fit? I reckon it is going to fit.
You reckon?
Oh my god, it's perfect.
Okay, cool.
It actually is perfect.
We can take a bit off on that bottom edge.
Yeah, because
and that'll bring it along that way a little bit. I've purposely left about 10-15 mil on this side to play with.
Yeah. Well, that'll be easy to get off though, won't it?
Yeah, so that's the milled edge.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is once we've got this offered up on that side, nice sharp line down there, and then we'll cut this to suit. And I'll, like I say, although I made a bit of a mess on this bit over here, guys.
It's fine. Look at it.
I'm just gonna live with it.
Perfectionist. But it's fine. I think it's wonderful.
So today we managed to get this side in and glued and fixed, and that side in and glued and fixed. So not a bad little day really, in the land of the caravan. And so we'll be back tomorrow.
We're calling it a night now.
Well,
It's getting a bit dark, isn't it?
we're starting to lose the light, so...
And the will to live.
And the will to
Cool, alright.
I think we're about 2 days off getting the window in.
That's alright. And I'm about 5 days out of getting one of the seals cleaned up with mastic, so on that time scale, we should be all good.
Right.
Nah, it's okay.
Cool, let's go home.
Nice.
Hello, it's Monday the 7th of December today. I'm back at the Caravan and here's what we've done so far today. So we've gotten the entire side panel on, so that entire side now is completely plied. So is the front end. So, and this one now just needs fitting, and I've also got to do a couple of little bits at the bottom here to turn the light around. Whoops, light's caught and everything. Get rid of that. There we are, so a couple little bits around the bottom, and obviously to fit that one. Oh no, I did fit this one, sorry, did fit that one. So a little bits of finishing off around the bottom there, and then I can start filling in some of the gaps and putting some wood filler in, and then we can paint. So it's coming along nicely. And then the rest of this week I want to focus on getting the bed built so that we can get the bed installed, and as well as getting some windows in. So yeah. Oh, this is our way of stopping the snow from coming in the front at the moment, because when it blows hard, the snow tends to come in. Anywho, that's where we are at the moment. So yeah, it's coming along nicely. It's getting quite exciting now as well, actually. I'm getting rather pleased with things. So yeah, let's keep going. This is quite the moment. We're putting some furniture back into the Caravan that we've taken out many weeks ago. So there we go. However, we're going to be cutting it down so it's only 1 seat wide, and then we're going to have a double bed in here. So it's not going to stay as it is standard, but at least if I can get it in, we can offer it up and we can go from there. So yeah, exciting times. Hello, we're back at the Caravan again for another day of fun. Yesterday was a good day, in fact. We got the, what did we get done yesterday? Oh yes, we got the 2 seat cushions in, or the seat pads, or the seat bases rather. So that now means I've got a rough guide of where I'm going to build the double bed to. Which, interesting, we think this will be the only Caravan in the UK that has a fixed double bed at the front end like that, and certainly with this layout, which is quite cool. But anyway, so today, before I go any further, I've got to sort this floor out because it's all delaminated and stuff where it's been heavily trafficked. I don't know how much of a difference the delamination kit will make in this case, because the floor is already quite sort of bad, really. But we'll give it a go. So I've just been in the process of cleaning all the grot off the floor and giving it a good scrape. I've come through here as well because this bit is also a bit delaminated inside here. Not quite as bad as back there, but if you can see that when I'm pressing with my foot, it's squeezing in. I'm going to try and take the toilet out as well, because there's a piece of carpet actually under the toilet, because it looks like the carpeted the Caravan and then put everything down on top, which kind of makes sense. It is what I would do as well, in fairness. So yeah, toilet out, give everything a good sweep, vacuum, mark the floor up, because I believe you draw a grid on it and then that shows you where to put the dowels and stuff in with the resin. But that's the kind of task for today, so stick around.
Should have 3 or 4.
So I think I'm going to give up trying to get this toilet out because it's just going to be a massive job. There's still a piece of carpet stuck right under there at the very bottom. I think you can see little bits of it, which I had hoped to get out and lift the toilet bowl up. It would have been a much easier job than I put the lino down and everything else in here, but I just think it's going to be such a nuisance to try and do. I'm going to probably end up causing more damage than the savings that I make. So I think on this occasion I'm going to put all the screws back in it and just leave it and roll this lino around it. But it seems to be stuck pretty fast and I can't work out where it's being held. And you know what, it's old plastic as well, so I don't want to start levering on it or pulling on it in case it splits, and then we'll be into a lot more bother really. So yeah, right, cool, put it back together, have a cup of coffee, have some bite to eat, and then we'll start marking out the floor for putting down the resin. Okay, so according to the packet I have to drill 7mm holes. I didn't build 200mm in the entire section of where the floor is sagging. It doesn't say the depth of the drilled holes. So I've tried to get in touch with somebody who gives some technical advice at MKM, sorry, but they weren't very helpful. So I've gotten back to Tracy, my good friend at Bevan Camping and Caravan, so she's going to try and get in touch with the rep and find out. I guess the depth of the holes only have to go through the top layer of floor, which is only, I don't know, 3 maybe millimeters, something like that. It's not very thick. But what I'll do is I'll get the floor marked out ready whilst I wait for confirmation of that, because I don't want to drill too deep because I'll be wasting the product. Also, likewise, I don't want to drill too shallow because then I run the risk of the product not doing its job correctly. But anyway, before I can think about drilling any holes or injecting any product in, I've got to get the floor marked out correctly. So we'll do a bit of that now.
You're uncomfortable, it's all of it.
Hi Tracy.
Hi, Jamie. Hi.
Yeah, good stuff. Just had a phone call back from Tracy. Good news. So I was wrong actually, so that's why it's good news. We don't just go through the top layer, we go through the top layer, down through the foam layer until we hit the bottom layer of ply, and then stop, and that's where we eject it and fill that area too, and it somehow reacts with the foam and firms everything up again. So yeah, good news. So at least we got that cleared up, so I'm not wasting the product. But as you can see, I've got my grid starting to appear now, and it's just a matter of marking the whole lot out. And the other good piece of news was, as Tracy said, you're not allowed to walk on the floor for 24 hours, which means sounds like I get a day off tomorrow. Hey, I don't know what to do with myself. Right, okay. No problem, let's carry on getting the floor marked up, and we'll see where we're at. So the fairly handy thing about having a section of floor is I can then take my ruler and I can work out what depth I've got to drill these holes to. So if we have a little look here, I can see that the top layer of ply is probably about 5 millimeters, maybe 4 millimeters, and then the foam layer goes down 30 millimeters. So if I drill down 35 millimeters, that'll give me enough to play with, I would say. Definitely no more than that, because otherwise I'll end up through the bottom floor. So let's go 35. I'll set the drill at that depth, and that'll allow me the space I need. Right, so let's go give it a go then. It's recommended that you wear glasses, safety glasses, because the chemicals are quite nasty if they get in your eyes. So I'll go put some safety specs on now as well. Very important. A bit dusty. Okay, so let's have a look at the instructions again. 7mm holes, 200mm centres to cover entire area of delamination. Vacuum over surface and over holes to extract as much debris as possible. Pour pack B into pack A and mix thoroughly for at least 3 minutes. Draw mixed resin up into syringe and place in the first hole. Inject resin into hole until it comes out of the next hole. Plug the first hole and inject into the second. Work methodically across the lamination area until all holes are filled. If the floor has bowed, remove plugs from around area and place weight onto it. Bring it back to level. It's bowed inwards, so I'm hoping it'll bring it up. We'll see. Right, so mix the pack contents for 3 minutes. Let me go and find a mixing spatula. Well, it's not coming out the next hole. I'm reluctant to keep squirting in because, well, I want to try and get at least the holes drilled that holes filled that are drilled. It's not going to go quite as far as I anticipated, but this will be it, the last one. 40, 60, 20. So it's in an area of 60 centimetres by 60 centimetres, and not to what they've told me to do either on the instructions. So, yeah. Oh no, I'll make one more syringe out of this actually. That was half a syringe. Now we're up to here. So I really think actually if you've got a big area to do, just overboard it. Some nice high quality chipboard. It's going to be cheaper, more durable, longer lasting than this. Good morning everyone, it's Friday the 11th of December and I'm heading back over to the Caravan this morning. We didn't do anything at the Caravan itself yesterday because the day before that I put down that resin floor kit to help with the delamination. More on that in just a moment. What we did do, because we couldn't walk on the floor where the floor kit had been laid down, is we went and we purchased the floor covering, the lino that we're going to put down on the floor, and some new ply. Now I was a bit harsh on the floor covering kit, the you know, the two-part epoxy to go on the floor, because I anticipated it to cover a much larger area, and as you saw in our last video, I drilled holes all the way down the Caravan gangway in the oh god, the stuff just falling over in the back in the expectation that the epoxy would go a lot further. As it occurred, it only really covered an area about the size of a doormat, which was in truth really useless to what we needed. So what I've learned from the Caravan floor delamination kit is that if the area of delamination is only about the size of a doormat, then it's a worthwhile kit. If the delamination is like ours and it's extensive and it's significant and the void between foam and floor is quite big, then you stand no chance really of filling that unless you've got loads of kits. So what I'm planning to do today is I'm going to cut up the gangway, just the top layer of ply, take that up off the floor, put battens down after channeling out some foam, so the battens and plus the new piece of ply, so I've got 9mm ply, and then when you add that on top of the 25mm battens, it'll bring the floor height back up to what it should be for specification. And because it's thicker ply, it'll take the heavy foot traffic backwards and forwards. So my thinking is that'll be a far better solution than trying to mess around with these delamination kits, because they're just not going to work. But I'm on the way there now. I'm going to get petrol for the generator on the way, and then by the time I get set up and get stuff in, Stacey will probably join me as well, because she's on her way over, because she's walking the dog for us first. But that's the plan for today anyway. Cut the gangway up, put some fresh battens in, put the new floor on top, and hopefully it should be happy days. Right, this camera's wobbling all over the place because it's currently sat in the cup holder and it's not enjoying life. So I'm going to stop talking, get the stuff, and I'll see you at the Caravan. Okay, so welcome, here we are, welcome back. Got the electricity running, got the generator running, so we've got some power on so we can see what we're doing. So here's where the floor was done the other day, and you can actually, it's absolutely rock solid, so it definitely has worked. But as you can see, really, the sort of the size of area that it's only done is kind of that sort of size, but it's made a huge difference. It's absolutely solid underneath. It's like pouring concrete. But obviously we had hoped to do the whole thing, because obviously right over here, spongy again, and then over here, this bit isn't. Then you've got the beam going across the Caravan, and then in front of the oven, spongy, front of the doorway, spongy, and then down at the bathroom here, a bit dark in here, but you get the idea. It's pretty spongy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down there, take the top sheet of ply off, channel out a foam channel of 50mm wide and 25mm high, which will take one of the pink battens in, and then I've got some 9mm ply which I bought yesterday, which will go on top, and that should give us a nice little new, well, a nice solid new floor. So let's see how we get on, folks.
People options.
The phone's passion for technology is
Lovely. So I've cut around the floor. I'm going to take a chisel now and I'm just going to chisel up the floor. I can see I've got some battens here, which is nice, but the idea is put a few extra battens in going along, and that'll lift the floor up and support it better. So yeah, let's get cracking. So I've just pulling up the bits of floor here, and lo and behold, look what's here. It's a dowel. So this floor has obviously been treated at one point in the past already because it's been delaminated, and you can actually see it's like there's the adhesive on the back side. But if you look at how thick the adhesive layer is there, it's, I don't know, it's got to be 3mm, 4mm perhaps. Let's see if I can pull it up. Yeah, it's quite thick. So yeah. Obviously it's been repaired once in the past, didn't do the job, so hopefully my repair will be, although over-engineered, it'll be done properly, so we'll give it a go. So I took the top layer of ply up. Next job is to scoop out all of the pink insulation from underneath, put the new battens in, bring them up to height, offer the floor up, and then before we screw the floor down, expanding foam underneath, and then screw everything down nice and tight. I'm going to do a little section at a time, which should give me a bit more control. So yeah, let's see how this goes. Well, which is a little break for lunch. I'm not that much further ahead than this. This is taking quite a bit of time to chew it all up, but we're getting there. Lovely lunch today. It wasn't a Frey Bentos pie, it was something completely at the other end of the spectrum. It was pita bread, hummus, salad, and halloumi fries. So you couldn't get any further from Frey Bentos pies than halloumi fries. But it was all very nice, and it made a nice change. Anyway, so we keep cracking on with this floor because I want to get the batten screw down and the top layer on before going home tonight, even if it's just this front section, and we'll do the other sections in the subsequent days. So let's keep going. So I'm just in the bathroom at the back of the caravan, and I've taken up the floor here, and what you can see actually here is the perfect reason why flooring delaminates. You can see that absolutely perfect circle where the floor is sunk and then the foam is cracked, which is why, although those delamination kits seem like they do the job because they firm up the surface, eventually they're going to fail again because the floor underneath is just not supported enough. I was just saying to Stacey before, it's absolutely crazy in this caravan that you've got the most trafficked area down the gangway of the caravan having the biggest span across the floor. There should be another timber in the middle there really to support the floor across that area, but they haven't done it for whatever reason, which just beggars belief really. But there we go. So next up, scrape the floor here, and then I'm going to run battens the full length as far as I can, slipping them under the shower tray because you can see there's a batten just down there underneath that lot. So let's get rid of all this pink foam, slip the new batten in underneath, and that'll be able to support the new timber on there. So I might step out a few as well. So yeah, we're getting there. Whoa, easy tiger. That's more foam breaking. Right, at least I hope it is. Okay, let's keep going. So folks, here we are at the end of another day. It's been a longer one than I anticipated, but the upshot is that the floor material has all been cleared. So we cut the ply off, removed the pink foam in this section here, all the way through to the bathroom, exposing the battens on either side. What I wish I had done, and if I was doing this again, I'll recommend to anybody who is about to do this, if you start in the softest piece of floor first in the middle, and then just gradually cut away until you expose a batten, then you can get a nice straight line to cut down. really this ply here should be over this batten, but as nobody's going to be standing on it, it shouldn't be a problem. But it does mean I'm going to have to drop a piece of ply in here, which is just annoying really. Whereas had I cut the ply square with a batten, that wouldn't have happened. So if you're doing this job, that's what I recommend you do. You might be wondering why I'm not using another floor kit. Well, to be honest, although it's I mean, it is amazing, it's absolutely rock solid here. I'm really pleased with how well it does actually work, and you can see it sort of how it's come through here. I don't know if you can see that or not. The problem is, for us anyway, this insulation is so compacted and so curved where we've been walking, it's just not worth it. The amount of stuff we'd have to squeeze in, syringe in to get this floor solid again is just crazy. And if that area there costs £40, well, I mean, you can very quickly see, you know, 40, 80, 120, 160, 200, 240, maybe £280, which is just, it's not worth doing. So what we're doing instead is just going to put the battens in, and then overboard it with nice thick ply, and I'll put some rock wool insulation in. But obviously there's going to be a framework going in here, so that supports everything. But that's kind of where we're at today. I hadn't anticipated this taking so long. I thought I would have got more of the framework in. But what I realised is that there's a couple of problems with the floor. I don't know whether you can see this bit here. That's a strip of aluminium which is going over the floor join, which means that where the floor joins there is quite strong. In here, they seem to have completely missed. You can see the aluminium here. For some reason they've put it there. I don't think, can you see that? And there's the join in the floor there. So consequently this is, you know, all separated. So when you were walking on the floor, that would have been moving that joint like that. And as a consequence, that's it's sped up the delamination process. So it's a bit annoying, but that's how it goes really. So tomorrow when I come back, I'm going to have a go at building the framework for this here. I want to lap the joints in so it's all nice and flush, but there'll be bits going across this way to support the floor, and then one long one going that way as well, just to really provide as much support as we can. I might have to put a trolley jack underneath the floor and like bring the floor up a wee bit, because it is slightly bowed in the middle on the lower layer of ply, just to try and make it easier when we screw in. And then when we do screw in, I'm going to first of all glue the battens in place using probably Sikaflex maybe, or I'll get some wood glue. Drill down from above so that we can see where the holes are going along, and I'll screw in from below so it pulls the floor up to the batten as well. So that's tomorrow's task, folks. That is tomorrow's task. I'm going to see whether there's a quicker way of creating these sort of lap joints. This is my little practice piece. The first one I made a complete mess of. Annoyingly, I forgot what I was doing and I went that way, splitting the wood rather than carving it out that way. So my second attempt on my practice piece was good. It wasn't going to be my practice piece, that was actually the first batten going in at the back down there. But given that I messed that up, I figure it's time to go home because it's absolutely pitch black outside. Yeah, you can't see anything going on, but you can hear the generator. Right, I'm going to go get packed up, and next time you speak to me, it'll be tomorrow morning. Hey! Good morning, Saturday the 12th of December. Today's task is to get the batten work down on the floor here, and get the rock wool in, get it all glued and everything else, blah blah blah, screwed down, and then get the top layer on. And then we can do this little section here as well. And that'll be the floor done. I might trim this back just a little bit further, not much further, about that much further, just to take out that kind of little bit of sponginess there. But yeah, that's the task of the day. Get this floor finished, capped off, completed, done, and then we can start looking at getting the windows and the awning rails and stuff on the front end. Stacey's coming along in a bit. She's going to put the next coats of undercoat on, primer, clean all this down to get that ready for painting up. So should be a busy little day between us, so let's get cracking. Right, I've produced a lot of sawdust, but what I have done is I've notched all of these battens that are going to go in the floor. So now it should sit completely flush. It's Stace is currently painting away there. Give it away, Stace. Haha, there we are. The dog's gotten cheesed off and it's gone into its old bed. Hardly keep its eyes awake, but anyway. Right, so the idea now is I'm going to put this floor all together, glue all the joints, and get it screwed down. And then I can start cutting the ply sheets to go on top. And it should, in theory, come to the same height as this black ply, if I've done all my measurements correctly. And if I haven't, well, then there's a box of matches in the drawer and we'll sort it out that way. Right, okie dokie then. Let's keep going. Look at that. It fits beautifully. So now, what I've got to do next is I've got to glue everything and screw everything. So, glue it, screw it, rock wool on top, screw it into the sides as well, and then we should be sorted, folks. So I'm pleased with that. And then get the time to go under the Caravan and get these screws driven up from underneath. I'm going to have to get my Caravan going underneath outfit on. Right, 2 seconds. Here we are, I've got my going under the Caravan outfit on now. Let's go and find these screw holes. Oh yes, we can see them. And they go all the way to up there by the looks of it. Right. Well, I can't see what kept them breaking my drill bits under here. But anyway, right. I'm going to put the camera over here. And whatever footage I get of me. There we are. Okay. Well, there we are, folks. That's all the screws in. It's been a nice job today, actually, getting all that done. I wish I'd gotten the board on top, but it's pitch black outside, as you can probably see behind me. But that's a good job done. So tomorrow I'm going to get the board down on top, and then we can get the videos sorted out. Interestingly, if you are interested, there's my drill bit that snapped, the second one. So it didn't actually hit anything. So I don't know. Anyway, just cheap stuff, really. So there we are, folks. Anyway, so that's the framework in. So tomorrow I shall board it, and then we'll see where we go from there. So anyway, see you tomorrow. Good morning. I'd like to say morning, although it's really afternoon. We're back at the Caravan here, just for a couple of hours, so I can get the floor finished off. That means I can get the video finished and created and put out onto YouTube. As you can see, it's another dry day, but it won't affect what we're doing anyway, because we'll get the floor finished, get it done, and then we'll go home. So only a real short day, fingers crossed. Stacey's currently putting some paint on over there. We'll go and have a look at that in a minute. So yeah, things are starting to take shape. Right, let's get cracking. Got a piece of floor cut, and it's in the Caravan. However, it's catching on some of the floor material that is left just here underneath the shower, because you can see the batten runs under the shower. We have to try and use the WYSIWYG tool to try and get rid of all this, so it smooths. So it slides all the way under nice and smoothly. So, next little task. Well, that was a significant pain. So what I've had to do in the end is I've had to chisel out. I turn the camera upside down, you'll probably see it even better. All underneath there to get the board in. In some ways, I wish I'd actually just maybe cut the board around there, but never mind. So that's where we're at. The board does fit, so now I'm going to have a hoover up to get all this rubbish out, put some rock wool in, slide the board in, and screw it down. The height over here, I don't know what's happening, but the height over here is higher than what it is over here, even though all the battens are stuck to the same piece of floor. So I don't know how we're going to resolve that. I probably won't, because to be honest, I'm getting a bit fed up now. I just want to get it done. Oh, right, okay, let's get the board down and let's get tidied up. I didn't do. What? It is Monday, let me just check, 14th of December. So this floor has been a bit of a nemesis for me. We had hoped to get it finished yesterday, but it took me that long to chisel out bits that were in the way around by the shower and stuff. And then we finally got the floor down and laid, and I actually started screwing it down. You can probably see where the holes are here. And then I realised I'd forgotten to put screws in, going through the red batten into this piece here. And so I was getting myself a bit paddy, and then anyway, the drill battery ran out, or the impact driver, shall I say. So we couldn't finish it. So I was not in the finest fettle. But today it is happening. I am not having this any longer. Today it is happening. We're going to get this floor finished and down and sorted. And then I've got that little piece there to do, that little pink piece, and a tiny little bit where the bale of rock wool is at the very far back. That needs to be done. But the main floor will be down, because the problem is you were jumping over the beams and everything else trying to stand the floor, so it was a bit of a nuisance. Anyway, right, get this floor down, kettle on, get on to the next bit, get the job done. Woo! Hurrah! Main floor section is down. So I've got a little bit more to do down in that corner where the board wasn't quite long enough, because the full length was 2.49 meters and the board came in 2.4 meter length. So I've cut it off there and I'll put a joint in there. And then later on today I'll do this little section here where Stacey's foot is there. That was where I did the so where Stacey's foot is, that's where I did the two-part epoxy. So I'll cut this board just a little bit more, take out the foam and do the same thing. But that's really good. So pleased with that. Hey, we've got our Caravan back. So let's keep going. So I'm just cutting up the foam on the next section. And I just thought I'd share this with you. So this is where I stopped. This is where the resin came to. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of a bit glossy. So it's run underneath the floor where there's quite a considerable gap still, and it's come out onto here. This section here, because it's been one of the most walked on sections, it's like a soup bowl. So to have filled this area with resin would have been a heck of a task. It's all filthy because we've been walking on it, obviously, but just thought I'd share that with you. If you're thinking about putting resin into your floors, that it might take a lot more than what you think. Particularly if you think, if the floor's got a gap in like that, that's a heck of a void to fill with resin, sorry, and you're probably not going to do it that easily. If it's only a small area, say that was the only area there that was gone, that it's become delaminated, you'll probably get away with a tub of resin. But if it's bigger than that, I don't think it's going to be an option for you guys. So you might have to do something like what we've done down here, putting the new floor in. Anyway, I'm going to get this up, and then it's lunchtime.